What is up, guys? Hardly ever do I ever do 2 episodes in a week, but with what is going on right now in our tournament trail and the decisions that have recently been made and everything that's been added, I feel that tonight was definitely a night to go live and just kind of talk through everything that's going on with the tournament trail, all of the new rules. I guess there's only a couple. The couple new rules we have, the new thing that we added, the top 8 elimination style tournament. So we're going to get through all of that tonight. I don't plan on taking up a whole lot of your guys' time. Please, 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 I ask if you have any questions, you ask them tonight so that we can get through this all and I can show you guys what's going on. But as always, this is the Mid-Ohio Catfishing Podcast. I'm your host, Corey Jeffers. Let's get this thing underway. Man, I remember I figured out how to do that last night and not have to do all this. But yeah, is it going to work?
Well, grab your boat, We're heading for a fishing hole somewhere in the state of Ohio. You may fish in Sandusky, but we ain't gonna count no muskie. It's the Mid-Ohio Catfish Tournament Trail. You may try out Lake Dillon. It depends on how you're feeling. It's the Mid-Ohio Catfish Tournament Trail. It don't cost much to enter. You may just be a winner at the Mid-Ohio Catfish Tournament Trail. At the Mid-Ohio Catfish Tournament Trail. Come on down and join us, you hear?
All right, so again, we got a lot to talk about tonight. What's up, one-legged fool? We got Jason Edwards in the house, who is also known as Big Dog Sinkers. He's got some of the best deals around on any kind of lead sinker, coin sinkers, no rolls, cannonball sinkers. I think he's somewhere between $2.50 and $3 a pound on all of them, maybe a little cheaper. Definitely give that guy go give that guy a look if you're looking for any kind of lead. So far, he's the cheapest that I've found. I haven't placed my order yet, but I have one coming up here soon. So let's start out. We're going to go through the rules of the tournament trail. That's what we're going to start with. And then we will, once we get more people in here, we will then move on to the big announcement, which is that new style tournament that we're going to be running that everybody's so excited for. So let's start out, like I said, with going through the rules. I know that a lot of people are looking forward to this. 1 second here. I know that a lot of people are looking forward to this. They want to see what's going on. What's up, Landon? Someone's up past their bedtime. Austin, how you doing? Okay, so kind of just a tutorial on how you navigate the Facebook page, because I've got a lot of questions about where to find stuff on the Facebook page. So we are going to break this down in the simplest terms that I know how. That I have to make it small so that I can see you guys and everything. So when you get on the Facebook page and you go and you're looking for the rules, you're looking for the information about Gallipolis, you're looking for the schedule, whatever you're looking for is going to be right here on the featured tab. For instance, you come up here, first thing you click on, the first thing that's there right now is the announcement about Gallipolis. Got everybody's names that's fishing, got all the information about the payouts, the extra prizes we're doing, and then some small print that I don't know why they put on there. But the big thing that I like to point out on here is that Tosh Collins and the Indian Lake Flathead Association donated a free lifetimes fishing to the top placing youth. So after you look at that, the next one you're going to see is the schedule. This is the schedule for both sides, weight and length. It gives you all of the length division and the weight division, all the length and weight division tournaments. And what you really want to pay attention to on this, because we had an issue with this last year, right here at the bottom of the schedule, must fish 7 to qualify for the Angler of the Year and the championship. On the weight side, must fish 5 to qualify for Angler of the Year and championship on the length side. The very next thing you're going to see when you're scrolling through there is going to be the new rule sheet. So let's go through the rules real fast. 1 second here. Make sure. Can you guys see it if I do that? Can you guys still see the rules? I want to make sure because so I can see the comments. I have to do that. I can probably zoom it in some. There we go. Now you should be able to see them. Can you see them now? Now that I zoomed in some, I can zoom in more. You guys can see them now? We're all line is bad. All right. Well, I'm going to read them. So when you go down through the rule list, the very first one is only a catfish species who would be eligible for weigh-in: channel catfish, flathead catfish, and blue catfish. And rule number 2 is they must be caught by rod and reel. Rule number 3 is 6 rods max in use per team. Now later on in this, you're going to hear that certain events will have their own rule sheet, which is that's what's going on with Gallipolis because it's a mega event. It's a little bit different than what we typically do. It has its own rule sheet. So, these rules are going to be the general rules for the trail. This will be most of the events we fish will follow these rules, but there will be a couple. The Indian Lake event, the Sandusky event, the Gallipolis event, those will all have their own rule sheets, which will be posted and talked about at the captain's meeting, things like that. Number 4, no drugs or alcohol permitted in use during fishing hours. That's a pretty common one. Tournament directors, sponsors, or any involved party are held harmless of any and all liability. Anglers understand they're fishing at their own risk. That's just telling you guys that when you go out there, please be safe. You're doing it at your own risk. You also sign a waiver at the captain's meeting stating the same thing. Weather delays and cancellations will be made before 5 hours prior to the start time of tournament day. Live well checks will be done at the time of registration. Fish must be weighed in alive, and dead fish will result in the team being disqualified at the weigh-in for the current tournament only. Decisions made by the tournament directors. Paid entry to be made by start time. Please contact. That's my phone number. It's in the rules right there. That's my cell phone number. If you guys need my phone number for any reason, please feel free to go over to the rule sheet, write it down, shoot me a text, tell me who you are. I'll save your number if you're going to be late. We don't like to let late entries, but I understand stuff happens. You get a flat tire, whatever on the way. Shoot me a text. Hey, we're coming. And what we normally do is we have a couple different tournament directors sit up by the boat ramp, watch you come in, make sure you're not bringing any fish. It's happened in the past. We don't have a problem with it. We just can't have it reoccurring. Cheating of any kind will not be tolerated and will result in a permanent ban from all future events. Places will be awarded based on the total weight of 5 fish. If a tie is present, the winner will be decided by the bigger fish of the two. If the big fish is a tie, then a coin flip will decide. There are many times when fish limits are reduced to 3. These times will be any Ohio River event or Hoover event. Also, Indian Lake will be reduced to 3. This is one that's any protests need to be made in writing to the tournament directors no later than 10 minutes after the final team weighs in. Hey, Brian, how you doing, guys? That's Bri Bri Fish with BCAT Boards, another sponsor of the trail. Awesome guy. Superior product to any boards that I've ever used. So so one thing about the where were we at? The 10 minutes. Okay. Any protest need to be made in writing to a tournament director no later than 10 minutes after the final team weighs in. Now, tournament directors will be wearing a different shirt than everybody else. It will probably be a neon green shirt that says director on the back of it. If you have any issues at all, if you saw somebody cheating, if you suspect somebody cheating, if you don't feel anything was right, something wasn't done correctly, first off, try to get to us as soon as possible. I will admit, last year at Sandusky, we got caught in a storm. It was a crazy mess. I rushed back to the boat ramp. I started weighing fish, and I wasn't bumping fish. I made a mistake. I wasn't bumping fish. Do I think anybody deliberately cheated? No. But the Sandusky Bay is the one place that you should probably bump everybody's under, because it is very easy to put one in your live well with your bump board that you thought was a 1/4 inch under, and it's actually a 1/4 inch over. That's happened to me. It's very easy to do, but in the heat of the moment, I wasn't thinking straight. I got a lot of slack after the tournament about that. Whereas in reality, everybody who was there was experienced tournament fishermen. I had several people helping who were experienced tournament fishermen. Please, if you see something that's not right, we're not going to bite your head off. just try to get to us immediately. Hey, I don't think this is right. Give us a chance to fix it. I promise you that's what all of our goals are. We don't want anybody to leave unhappy. We don't want any issues. Then the reason I'm going with that is make sure that if you know there's an issue or you have an issue with something that was done or you have a question, find one of the guys in a director shirt. Like I said, they'll probably be neon yellow and say director on the back. Please find one of us, find what your issue is. Try to have proof. If you think somebody's cheating, a video, a picture, whatever, I also need it in writing. Writing can be a text message. My number's up there, 506-9333. Shoot me a text message. Hey, this happened out here. Here's a picture. Whatever it is. Just, guys, I had a couple instances where somebody called me at like midnight, 7 hours after the tournament ended and said, hey, I think this guy did this. No proof, no pictures. So that's why I put that in there. I really want you guys to know that we will do whatever it takes to make something right, but we got to know about it. And we need to know about it at the weigh-in. So, moving on. This is another one that's a little different on my trail than it is in other trails. Any angler that receives any type of wildlife violation during tournament hours will be disqualified. We kind of hit on this last week or last podcast, which was a few days ago. If you get a speeding ticket, a ticket because you don't have your flag, a ticket. What's up, Tosh? How you doing? Guys, there's Tosh with Indian Lake Flathead Association. They donated the lifetime fishing license for the first event. Another awesome guy. He'll be hosting the Gallipolis event with me. So, I mean, if it's anything other than a wildlife violation is too many fish, weights in fish, whatever it may be that pertains to the fish, or I don't know, whatever kind of wildlife violation you can get during tournament hours will be an immediate disqualification. Anything outside of wildlife violations does nothing. Hey, Dalton, how you doing, man? Thanks for coming in. You're obviously going to have to pay the ticket, but if you don't have the numbers on your boat, that's not my problem. That's not going to give you any kind of advantage to beat anybody in a tournament or nothing like that. So you don't get disqualified for that. Teams can consist up to 3 adult members and any number of youth anglers, but rules will be based on 2 angler teams. That's pretty self-explanatory. The next couple rules are the slot limits for Ohio. What's up, Mike? Welcome in. Yeah, there is no calling at the ramp. If you bring too many fish to the ramp, you're disqualified. Now, if we're in an emergency situation, say we get stuck in a storm in Sandusky and you got 10 fish laying in the boat, and if you stay out there and call, your boat's going to sink, I'm not going to force you to put your fish back before you come in. Certain circumstances warrant certain leadways, right? If it's a bright sunny day and you're calling fish at the ramp, that's not okay. You need to call your fish before you come in. If it's severe weather, your boat's going to sink, you have an emergency, something like that, absolutely. If you need to call at the ramp, you can call at the ramp. I don't want to see 30 boats out there on a 70-degree day calling fish. Have your 3 fish before you come to the ramp. The next one are the slot limits in Ohio. No more than 2 channel cats over 28 inches can be weighed in. No more than 2 blues or flatheads can be weighed in over 35 inches. If you're fishing by yourself, those limits are knocked down. You can only use 3 rods and 1 over for each species. The entry fee for all tournaments this year went up a little bit. It was $80 last year. It's going to be $100 this year. And we're going to put $10 of that into the big fish pot. If we have 2 to 5 teams, it pays 1 place. 6 to 15 teams plays 2 places. 16 to 25 teams pays 3 places. 26 to 40 teams plays 4 places. 40 plus teams pays 5 places. The exception to that is the first event of the year. There's a posted flyer that shows you guys how that pays. Payouts are based on how many participants show, obviously, except for every weight division event this year. There's a sponsor who's added $1,000 to it. So every single event, the pot right now for every single event sits at $1,000 before we even start. Before any angler money's added to it, we've already got $1,000 lined up for every single event. Let's see here. All state laws for boating and fishing trump any tournament rule, obviously. Live well with some sort of regeneration system is highly recommended. Guys, early on in the year, the water's cold. The fish will live almost in anything in the beginning of the year, but I get really worried when we get into June and July. If you guys don't have some kind of way to circulate the water, just do me a favor and take a 5-gallon bucket with you, and every 30 minutes, take a bucket out and put a bucket in, or just get you a submersible pump that you can drop over the side of your boat, put into your live well, a spray bar. Just remember, fish health number one priority is your guys' health and safety. My number one priority is making sure everybody who launches from the ramp comes back to the ramp alive, healthy, with all their limbs. My number two priority is that the fish that we catch are then returned to the bodies of water that we catch them out of. The state is really nice, and they do a good job of keeping these fish healthy and alive in these lakes. The residents and the people who fish them every day can do a really good job of making sure the fish stay alive and healthy. I don't want our tournament trail to come there and kill a bunch of their fish. That's never the goal. So just in those hot months, just make sure you have something to cycle the water in and out with, a bucket, a pump, whatever it is. If you guys need buckets, I'll bring 50 buckets with me every tournament just so we can swap buckets out. Tournament directors have the final say on all rules. So I have them all written. I have every rule written. We know that everything is a case-by-case scenario. Our very first thing that we're going to do if somebody comes up and asks us something or a rule or whatever is we're going to go back to this rule sheet and we're going to read it word for word. There are no gray areas in rules, right? We're not going to say, well, yeah, the rule says that you can't have more than 2 channel cats over 28 inches, but you had one that was 28 in a 30 seconds, so we're going to let you pass. That's not how that works. You know, we're going to go to this rule sheet, we're going to read the rule, and we're going to apply it to the situation. And if it is word for word in there, this is how the rule is, then that's how the rule is, and the rule stands. If for whatever reason there becomes a gray area, something doesn't make right, I am on 2 separate boards in this tournament trail with 9 other guys. So we will then take it to a panel vote of everybody who's there. There'll be guys from both boards there. There'll be guys from the length board there fishing, and there'll be guys from the boat board fishing. If we come into an issue where the rule isn't real clear and it needs to go to a vote, you need to know that it's going to go to a panel of voters. It's not going to be me making a decision. We're going to go to every single director that's there. We're all going to get together. Whoever has brought the rule to me or the situation with me will be a part of the conversation. We will talk about it, discuss it, vote on it, and then that will be final. So the reason we did a board, it's the reason I now have 2 boards, so that we always have many different inputs and outputs on what's going on or any questions that can be asked. That's how that's going to be handled. Night fishing times this year start at 8 p.m. and they end at 3 a.m. Is that right? No. Nope, that's not right. It's 5 to 2. I got to change that. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1. No, what is it? No, it is 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3. No, that's right. 8 to 3. That's what we did. Sorry. 8 p.m. to 3 a.m. That's going to be our night fishing times this year. It's a little bit easier than what we were doing last year. I don't remember what it was, but I know that people were getting a little stressed out with how long it was. So we backed it up this year. What did we do last year? Did we do 9 to 4, 9 to 5? What did we do last year? Yeah, it doesn't matter. Back to the ramp no later than 3:30. Daytime tournaments start at 6 a.m. and end at 2 p.m. Back to the ramp no later than 2:30. That's what we did last year was 8 to 3. 5. Hold on, wait 1 second. We are doing, no, it's 5. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1. We're doing 6 to 2 this year is what it is. Sorry. It is 6 p.m. to 2. I will change that when we get off here. 6 p.m. to 2 a.m. is what it is. So, 6 to 2. You know what? Because we have a board, I look like an idiot right now. I got to find out what I said. Maybe it was 5 to 1. I will make that correction and make a video about it. I apologize, guys. I do know that the daytime tournaments, I don't know why that did not get changed, but the daytime tournaments were moved to 7 to 3. I know that for sure. 7 a.m., 3 p.m. daytime tournaments, back to the ramp no later than 3:30. All lines out of the water at tournament time. Tournament times may vary. Please check the schedule. Please check the schedule to see specified times for the specified event. Guys, I'm really sorry about that. It was either 6 to 2 or 5 to 1 is what it changed to. I will have an answer for you right as soon as I get off here. I'm going to text the board, find out what we decided, and change it. I apologize. It is either 6 to 2 or 5 to 1. I know that for sure. No pre-fishing the tournament waters within 12 hours of start time. This is one rule that did change this year for sure. You can launch your boat up to an hour before the tournament starts, but you are not allowed to leave the ramp area until the tournament signal is given. So to start the tournament, there'll be a whistle, a horn, I'll yell, somebody will yell. We'll all be right there at the boat ramp. We changed that this year because the number of people that will be participating in our tournaments, it will be very hard to let people go out and wander in a lake and keep an eye on them. I'm not saying if anybody Will do, Jason. Thanks for stopping in, guys. Again, that's Jason Edwards, Big Dog Sinkers. Guys, look him up. He's got the best deal there is on lead online. Click on his profile. All the pricing's on there. It's under $3 a pound, I believe. So it's going to be too hard to keep an eye on anyone. I don't believe that anybody would cheat. I don't think anybody ever has cheated, but we changed this rule to be in line with other tournament trails. So you'll be at the ramp the same time, and you get to leave the ramp the same time as everybody else. There is no going out. I mean, guys, last year we were kind of lenient on it to go catch bait. Unfortunately, this year we've changed that rule. We're really cracking down on you cannot leave the ramp area until the tournament start signal is given. No fishing within 50 yards of another boat that's fishing. Moving boats need to give way to anchored boats. This is the distance from boat to boat. If you guys want to take a tape measure with you and measure 150 feet, you're more than welcome to. I didn't have any issues with that rule last year. Everybody was pretty respectful. Life jackets are suggested. Operate and fish without them at your own risk. Kayak fishermen are welcome to fish in the weight division as long as the fish are kept alive and healthy. No stringers or gill intrusive measures. Tug-along live wells or baskets need to be approved by the tournament director prior to the start. Unsportsmanlike conduct will not be tolerated and will be grounds for disqualification. All right, Pam went back and looked. The tournament times this year are 5 to 1. Sorry about that, guys. In the evenings, it's 5 p.m. to 1 a.m. I can't believe I messed that up. I can't believe I didn't read that and change it. To qualify for the championship of the Angler of the Year race, there is a specific number of events that are required. Please see the schedule for the series to see the total number of events required to fish. We answered that at the beginning of the video. Those of you guys that weren't here, that number is 7 events. Let's get to page number 2 of this. Rule number 31 is where page number 2 starts for you guys that are following along. A tie in total weight will go to the team with the biggest fish. A tie with the biggest fish will go to the best total weight. If still a tie, a coin flip will decide. The directors have the right to polygraph any team at any time. Refusal to complete a polygraph will result in an automatic disqualification from the series indefinitely. A failed polygraph test will result in a DQ from the event and a board review of the circumstances to decide on a permanent disqualification. This ruling will be at the board's discretion and will be final. We do plan on polygraphing at almost all of our events this year. You should plan on being polygraphed if you win at any event this year. I hate to have to do it, but we got to keep everybody honest. There's a lot of money on the line. The total amount of money for this trail is well north of $70,000. So when you're competing for that kind of money, the extra peace of mind of a polygraph is definitely needed. Anyone can bring questions to the board. The process for doing so is as followed. Send a Facebook message to the page and request a session with the board. You'll get a phone call from the director. You can state your question or your concern. The director will present your question to the board and get back with you with an answer no later than 72 hours after it's presented. In the event we collaborate with another trail, which we are doing this year at the Indian Lake event, rules may change. Please see posts specific to the event to find the rules, and the rules will be different at that one. Any material posted by Mid-Ohio could possibly contain a rule change. Please pay attention to all material published on our page. All pinned posts will act in conjunction with this rule sheet and act as an additional rule information. We will not tolerate any public bashing of the trail or board members or anglers of the trail. This will result in a person being removed from the page and possibly barred from fishing future events. That will fall underneath the sportsmanship rule, and that would be a direct sportsmanship violation is where that's coming from. So there is the rules. Go ahead. If you guys have any questions, put them in there. And we will go to the next sheet on here, which is, I believe, is the Angler of the Year race, which also has another bold red change. And the reason being for that is the board voted on this, and I thought it was a great addition to the points. Let me get us zoomed in here. Oh, I'm zoomed in as far as I can go. All right. Rule number 1 this year of the Angler of the Year points race. Big change right here. I know a lot of people had some issues with this last year, so we did this because it helped everybody across the board. Rule number 1. Last year, it said that the points followed the captain. If the captain wasn't there, the team didn't get any points. This year, the points follow the team. A team this year consists of one captain, one co-captain. Teams must name their captain and their co-captain at the first event that they fish. The captain and co-captain can then not change for the season. One of either the captain or the co-captain has to be present for your team to earn points at any Mid-Ohio event. Again, when you fish the very first tournament, if you don't plan on fishing them all, say you're the captain, say you're Mike Kuhn, you have your own boat, you don't plan on fishing them all, but you want to have a shot at the Angler of the Year, you want to have a shot at the Final 8, you want to have a shot at the championship, you would name your co-captain the very first event. Hey, my name is Mike, I'm the captain, this is Joe, he's my co-captain, and then I will keep track of that, and your team will be, like for instance, say it was Mike Kuhn and Joe Smith. The team name on my Angler of the Point sheet would be Mike Kuhn and Joe Smith. And I would then, anytime they fished, I would make sure one of them were on the boat. Your third partner doesn't matter. You can change your third partner out 1,000,000 times. I understand finding partners is hard. But in order for your team to get points, either your captain or your co-captain has to be present at the event. Points race will be updated within 48 hours of the event completion. I changed that this year. It used to be 24 hours. You got to remember, I got to input data now for 100 teams at the very first event. So that might take me a day or two after setup and teardown. This year is the same as last as far as the points go in the point race. First place gets 100 points. Second place gets 90 points. Third place gets 85. And then it's 84, 83, 82, 81, etc. Every team that catches fish will earn points in the points race. Yeah, Darren brings up a good point. Captain and co-captain, you can't have two separate teams. If you're a captain or a co-captain of one team, you cannot be a captain or a co-captain of another team. You can only be on one team. Now, let me think about that. If you were to go, so say your partner can't make it, you can't find a partner, but you still want to fish, so you join Darren and Kyle's team. You could be their third angler, but then at that point, you're just their third angler. You're just there fishing with them. Your team won't get any points. The points would go to Darren and Kyle's team. So just know that. And if it comes a point where it's two captains or two co-captains fishing, I'm going to ask you up front, whose team are you fishing for? Like, what team are we fishing for here? Because one team can't earn points for two different teams. Good point, Darren. I forgot to bring that up. Anyone who catches fish in the points race and comes to the weigh-in will get points in the points race. Big fish of the night earns an extra 5 points. All teams will be rewarded a minimum of 25 points as long as you're present for the weigh-in. If you come to the weigh-in, you get points. A tie-in points will result in a fish-off for first place at the end of the year. More payout spots may be added as more sponsors are added, but currently in this points race this year, first place is a $7,000 check. Second place is a $2,000 check. Third place will be a $1,000 check. Angler of the Year in the points race this year is based off of your 7 best point race finishes. Anybody got any questions on that? Next, we're going to move on to the very short rule list of the Best of Ohio Championship because it follows all the other rules. How's the point set up, or is there a place I can find the setup? Jack, I'm not sure what you're asking, man. Shoot me a text. I just went over points. If you just jumped in here, you may have missed it. First place gets 100, second gets 90, third gets 85. I think that's what you're asking. Fourth gets 84, third gets 83, second gets 82. Second. First gets 100, second gets 90, third gets 85, fourth gets 84, fifth gets 83, etc. That's how it goes. And Big Fish is 5 extra points. So if you get Big Fish and you win, it's 105 points. If you get second place and Big Fish, it's 100 points or 95 points. So the Best of the Ohio Championship rules for the weight division. You must qualify for the event by placing top 20 in Angler of the Year. This year, we expanded it to 20 instead of 10 because I believe we're going to have a lot more participation this year with everybody having a whole year to plan it ahead before our event. So 1 through 20 will be as long as 1 through 20 completed 7 events. Remember, you have to fish 7 events to qualify. So you have to fish 7 events and you have to place in the top 20 of Angler of the Year. Your partner in the championship must have fished with you in at least one other Mid-Ohio catfishing tournament. The reason we have that rule is, say we got Jack Davis, he's fishing, and then Sean Dolphin's fishing. Jack doesn't make it, Sean does. So Sean picks up Jack, who is another really good captain. Now you got 2 good captains on the same boat, and they only did it because Jack didn't make it. We squash that. If you're going to fish with somebody at the end of the year at the championship, you would have had to have fished with them at least one time during the season. It will be the best 3 fish to the championship because it's on the Ohio River. We don't know where because those 20 teams, if you make the top 20 Angler of the Year, I then invite you to dinner. You get a prize from me, whether it be a hoodie, a hat, whatever it is. You get an invitation, an actual printed out invitation to fish it. Everybody says, yeah, we can make it. And then we all vote on where we're going. So this year we voted in Cincinnati. Chris and I won. We went to dinner. Everybody voted. This year, a couple people didn't come to dinner. I didn't really understand why. They qualified, they made it. But if for whatever reason there's more than 20 teams that fish 7 events and somebody in the top 20 can't make it, then I'm going to go to 21, 22 until I run out of people that fish 7 events. The entry fee for the championship this year is $300. First will play $7,000. Second will play $2,000. Third will play $1,000, pay $1,000, and Big Fish pay $1,000. If you do the math quick in your head, it's 20 teams, $300. The entry fee money is only $6,000. We're giving away 11. The other 5 has been sponsored. Any questions on that? And then last but not least, this is what everyone's been waiting on. I waited till the end so that we could get people in here, and I think I lost a bunch of people. So the last thing we're going to go over is the new edition of the top 8 single elimination tournament rules. And we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about why we have it set up like we do, because I've had a couple questions about why it's set up the way it is. So, something new to this year. We can't take claim for it. King Cat's been doing this for several years. They have their Sweet 16. We derived a portion of that to add to this trail. It's kind of like what they're doing. So hats off to King Cat. It's been working for them. It's an awesome tournament format. I figure we'd see it in more than just King Cat and us, but nobody else has adopted it yet. It's a great idea. You must qualify for this event by placing top 8 in the overall points race. Now, remember, we've been talking about the Angler of the Year race all night. We are now talking about the overall points race. And there's a difference. The Angler of the Year points race is your best 7 finishes. If you fish 20 events, I'm only pulling your best 7 for the Angler of the Year race. The overall points race, and it's defined in here. So there's also the overall points race winner also wins $1,000. The overall points race is defined as the cumulative number or the cumulative points added together for all events you or your team fishes in the 2024 Mid-Ohio season. So what that is, if you fish all 20 events and you do well in 20 events, you probably have a really good chance of being in this top 8 of single elimination. The reason we did it, I've had a couple questions today at why we didn't just do the top 8 Angler of the Year, which is the way King Cat does it. The reason we did this, sometimes you get 3/4 of the way through the season and the Angler of the Year race is really hard to get into, right? Because we don't do any double point tournaments. We don't do any of that. So sometimes you get to those last 5 events and the top 20 teams in Angler of the Year are all real close, and you may be sitting down at like 28 and you're just 300 points out of it and you don't know how you can make it, right? I've been in that spot. You're just like, oh, well, I can't get in it, so I'm done fishing. This still gives you a chance to keep fishing. It gives you the opportunity to keep showing up, keep fishing, keep getting all these tournaments, because at the end of the year, if you can't make it in the Angler of the Year race, some of those guys will probably only fish 7 events. Well, if you fish 20 events and they only fish 7, you will place higher than them in the overall points race. It's just mathematically, you will for sure, because you're getting a minimum of 25 points just for showing up. 25 on another 13 tournaments is another 300 points. You will eventually beat them in the overall race if they only fish 7. So it gives those guys that may not be able to get into the Angler of the Year race, maybe things just don't swing their way, it still gives them an opportunity to have something to fish for. At the end of the year, at our very last tournament, which I think is November 2nd at East Fork, I believe, once East Fork is over, I will tally the Angler of the Year race. I'll go through and I'll tally the entire overall points race. I will then announce who won Angler of the Year, and I will announce who won the overall points race. Angler of the Year winner and second and third get paid. Overall points race, first place gets paid. But I will then announce who your top 20 in Angler of the Year that get to go to the championship are, and I will announce who your top 8 in the overall points race and get to go to the Elite 8 or the top 8. We call it top 8. Your top 8 fishermen are. So after the event on East Fork, we will know who goes where. And I firmly believe that less than or probably half or more of those top 8 in the overall points race will probably not be placing in the Angler of the Year race. I will say the $1,000 payout for the top placing overall points race, I have excluded me and Chris from that. Chris and I are going to all 20 tournaments. We have to. I'm the tournament director. I'm not taking that $1,000 payout if we finish first. I'm not saying we will. I'm just letting you know, because that could cause an issue later on as well. He's got to fish all 20 tournaments, so he's automatically going to get it. That's not true. I'm ineligible to win the $1,000 for the overall points winner. If I win the overall points, whoever's next under me will get the $1,000. So I kind of wanted to explain why I did it that way, why we took it to the overall points race instead of the Angler of the Year race. It just gives everybody a fair shake to make that top 8. There will be no entry fees. We're not going to charge you guys to fish this event. It pays $1,500 to the winning team, and you'll get a big trophy. It pays $1,000 to the big fish. Big fish will get a plaque. If anglers get eliminated, you still fish all weekend. It's a Friday, Saturday, Sunday event. If you get eliminated on the first day, you keep fishing because you keep going for the big fish. The big fish of the tournament gets $1,000. So you can bring fish in. You're still allowed to bring your 3 fish in every day. That gives you 2 chances to catch a big one. And whoever gets the big fish of the tournament gets that $1,000 prize. That way, we're going to have it. It'll most likely be on the river. And that way people don't drive down there for one day, get beat, and then have to come home. I left it open so that you get to fish the entire weekend. Every day, all 8 teams are fishing. Now, on Championship Sunday, there's only 2 teams left. The other 6 teams are just trying to find the big fish. So the event will be in May of 2025. The location will be announced in December. So I pushed it out till May so that we know the fishing's good again. Obviously, we don't want to go somewhere in late November after our championship in December and do this. People will freeze out there. So I went ahead and I said, we'll qualify for it this year. We'll fish it in May. Kind of the same thing King Cat does. You qualify for it this year. They fish it in March, I think. Any member on the boat for this event will have any member on the boat for this event must have fished with the captain or the co-captain at least one time in the 2024 season. Still going to be a 3-man team, not requiring the captain and the co-captain to be there. One or the other can be there. You can still fish with 3, but the other 2 people would have had to have at least fished with you one time this season. If there is an instance that someone in the top 8 cannot make it, we will then go to 9th place and continue down the line until we fill the field. So if 8 can't make it, we'll go to 9, then we'll go to 10, we'll go to 11, whatever we got to do to make sure that we get 8 teams. The format of the tournament does not work if we don't fill the field. Teams will have trail jerseys to wear for this event. I'm going to supply you with a jersey that is specific for this event. I do ask that you wear it because the very next line, we're going to give every one of you guys GoPros on YOLO sticks. You just literally put it in the front of your boat, turn it on, you never touch it again. I'll edit all the footage, but we're going to try to make a YouTube episode out of it. I think it'd be really cool to do. While you're down there, Thursday night, Friday night, and Saturday night, we're going to supply dinner for you. So every night when the fishing's done, you go back, you get cleaned up. A couple hours later, we're going to meet at a restaurant down there. We'll cover all of that. Kind of just a thank you for fishing the trail. You know, the top 8 in the overall points race will be the top, in my opinion, could be the top most dedicated people to the trail. So this is my way of giving back to you. We appreciate you guys. We love what you guys do. And if you're dedicated enough to fish 20 events or 18 events, we want to find a way to give it back to you. So this whole thing will be the entire thing will be free for you guys. We'll probably find a way to get hotel rooms too. I didn't put that in here, but that we are working on that. This will be a bracket style, head-to-head elimination style event. So on day 1, say your top 8 are Jack, Darren, Mike, Pam, Jason, me, Tosh, and Dalton. On the first day, 1's going to play 8 or face 8, 2's going to face 7, 3's going to face 6, 4 and 5 are going to face off. Whoever wins moves on. The next day, you're going to have, say it's 1 and 7 and 2 and 5. The next day is going to be 1 and 7, and then it plays out just like the March Madness bracket does. That's how it's going to go. And this, like I said earlier, this will be a 3-day event. It starts on Friday and it's going through Championship Sunday. So, with that said, we are in the beginning stages of this. We are kind of shooting at the moon and hoping it works. I think it's going to be an awesome thing. It's definitely happening. I mean, it is happening. This first year, there may be some kinks to work out with where we're going to stay, where we're going to eat, things like that. The sponsorship money for it's already been secured. And actually, the person contacted me and said, hey, why don't we do something like this? And here's the money. So it's already been secured. It is going to happen. I am super excited for it. I think it's an awesome thing that we're doing. And you pair it with everything else we got going on, you know. So we talked about numbers earlier and how much this trail's paying. This first thank you, Pam. This first tournament, right? I don't have the numbers in front of me. What does it pay? 5,000. Let's see. I got it. I do have the numbers in front of me. I lied. This first tournament at Gallipolis pays out a total of $5,000 for first place, $2,500 for second place, $1,000 for third place, $1,000 for big fish, right? So kind of walk you guys through how this goes, right? Because everybody was questioning, where's the money coming from? He's taking all the t-shirt money. As of right now, we have 90 boats. That's 180 anglers. 180 anglers at $30 per shirt. Quick math. What is that? 180 times 30 is $5,400. Now, if you take $5,400 that I'm making in t-shirt money, right? The t-shirts cost me $9 a piece. So you then have 180 times 9, 1,620 of that I'm paying out of my own pocket tomorrow. Well, I'm sorry. The trail's paying out of their pocket. It's not my pocket. It's sponsor money for the trail. The trail's paying out of their own pocket tomorrow or Monday, $1,620 to buy all these t-shirts. And is that right? That doesn't seem right. 180 times 9. Yeah, $1,620. Then I'll bring them to the captain's meeting. You guys will pay for them. You have to pay for your t-shirt with cash because that money is then being turned around and paid right back out at the end of the tournament. But I just told you that number is $5,400 on a tournament that has been guaranteed a total of $9,500. I knew that the t-shirt sales wouldn't cover it all. I went and found other sponsors. And I'll show you. These are the sponsors that I went and found, and believe it or not, it's still not all of them. Thankfully, there's guys that have signed a contract, but they don't want their logo on the jerseys, and there's random stuff going on. But let me show you this. So I went out and found sponsors, and these are some of them right here. This is the trail jersey that I'm having made. Anybody can buy one of these. I can put your name on it. If you want one with your name on it, it's going to take 2 weeks to come in. If you don't want one with your name on it, then I will have to, I'll have some in stock that you can buy. But just right off the rip here, you got the 3 logos for our tournament trail. You've got Howard's Lakeside General Store, Anchor Down Tackle, Moon Kitties Rigs, Monster Cat Catfishing, Indian Lake Flathead Association, Toughest Frickin' Rods, Ohio Ridge Outdoors, Shores and Islands. Shores and Islands hasn't said anything yet. We haven't 100% got a deal with them. This is just a mock-up. Sizzle Marine, Soravco Construction, Angler Innovations, Healthcare Advisors. So that's what I do. I spend my time going out and getting sponsors. It's what I do. I go out, I look for the sponsor. I say, hey, this is what we got going on. This is what we need. So back to the numbers, right? That first $500. The next tournament is already guaranteed $1,000. So there's $10,500. You also have to remember that there's or 10. Sorry, there's 12. There's 12 length division events that guarantee 250 at least. I mean, it's added 250. So no matter what, those prize pots are already at $250 before the tournament ever starts, and any angler money's ever added. So the so you got that paired with the $1,000 that's guaranteed already added at every tournament. You got 20 of those tournaments. That's $20,000. And the $5,900 for the first one. So there's $25,900 in guaranteed money there. You then have $10,000 for Angler of the Year, which is $39,000. Another $10,000 or $11,000 for the championship, which is $50,000. You then have $5,000 for the Angler of the Year race on the length division side, and $5,000 for the championship. I think those are the numbers. So $10,000 total. So there's $60,000. You have lie detector test costs. You have setup cost. I mean, people asked me earlier, I said that number on my video. I got all kinds of messages. There's no way your trail's paying out that kind of money. It is. It is. And I have gone out and found sponsors for all of it. Like I'm building something that Ohio has never seen. That's the entire point of what we're doing. So as much as I appreciate everyone, I appreciate everything that everybody does. I mean, this thing has become my redemption story. I said that in a video before. I won't let this trail fail. It will be the best trail, one of the best local trails to fish. That's just what it is. You could fish this trail this year, and if you did really, really well, you could make a salary doing so. You could become a professional fisherman fishing this trail and this trail only. So I'm super excited. I mean, this is exactly what I wanted this trail to be when I thought it up last year. This year, I think, will be another building year. I really do. I think last year people saw how the trail went. They liked how the trail went. And then I think next year they're going to see how well this trail goes. And I think next year is the year this trail really takes off. We have our first event, almost 100 boats at it. That's going to give me the chance to say exactly what I'm saying to you guys in front of 180 people at a captain's meeting. Hand them the list of the tournaments, hand them how much the Angler of the Year race pays, hand them how much the championship pays, tell them about the top 8 at the end of the year. And I would be very, very surprised if we don't get giant angler numbers this year. I mean, I really would. I mean, it's from every corner of Ohio, I get nothing but great feedback about what we're doing. And really, I got to think is the anglers that religiously followed the trail last year. You know, we averaged 10 anglers at every trail last year, and probably 6 of them were the same people. So kudos to all you guys. We're excited about the top 8. We're excited about the Angler of the Year race. We're excited about the championships. We're excited about the length division. I know I have thrown a ton of stuff at you guys this year. Our trail went from just a couple guys fishing for fun at Deer Creek one night and me dreaming up, why don't we do this as a trail, to, again, almost 100 boats at our first event. So we are super excited. I threw a lot at you guys tonight. Is there any questions that you guys have for me? The jerseys will be for sale once I finalize, and I have some other sponsors that may want to put their logo on it. I probably will not have them at the first event, but I'm hoping to. Kids singing in the background. But any questions for me? What's up, Sean? Man, we went through a lot of stuff today. If you're just joining in, you got to go back and listen to it. We've added some really cool stuff to the trail. I think you'll like what we added to the trail. It's a lot of fun. We added a new format for the end of the year. Another platform for the trail. You know, we have the Angler of the Year race. We have the championship. We have the normal tournaments. Now we have what we call the top 8 single elimination tournament that you qualify for at the end of the year. It's pretty cool. So, all right, guys, please feel free to shoot me a message if you guys have any questions or any concerns. And I will, obviously I'll be happy to answer. Also, one thing we have in the makes right now, I don't have any pictures of them. We're redoing the hoodies this year. They're going to be sublimation hoodies. So they're going to be like a workout material on the outside, polyester, I think is what that's called. So they're gonna be like a polyester on the outside, big logo on the front, the entire schedule on the back. He is designing those right now. I'm probably going to order 200 or 300 of them just to keep in stock. Because I'll take by all I ever wear is Mid-Ohio hoodies. So I know several people will buy plenty, and I'm getting a pretty good deal on them. So those will be pretty cool too. I'll post a picture of those tomorrow once he sends me the mock-up. But yeah, no, it's again, this I think this year is going to be the year. This is going to be the year that this thing either explodes or dies. And everything that I see, it's for sure going to explode. So, not seeing any other questions, I will go ahead and let the podcast song take us out. You guys have a good one, and we will see you guys soon. Gallipolis is close. I hope you guys are excited.
Well, grab your boat and folks. We're heading for a fishing hole somewhere in the state of Ohio. You may fish in Sandusky, but we ain't gonna count no muskie. It's the Mid-Ohio Catfish Tournament Trail. You may drag out Lake Dillon. It depends on how you're feeling. It's the Mid-Ohio Catfish Tournament Trail. It don't cost much to enter. You may just be a winner at the Mid-Ohio Catfish Tournament Trail. At the Mid-Ohio Catfish Tournament Trail. Come on down and join us, you hear?